he immediately resorts to physical violence. This would be unacceptable to anybody. It would be unacceptable behavior for anybody except for people that wear a badge. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Craig Hendry and Hendry channels. Today we are in South Whitley, Indiana. Now, this is the location that a young Vivian Augustus was taken into police custody for refusal to ID, resisting a police officer, and a speeding infraction. Now, the civil rights attorney on YouTube ran a piece on it, got millions of views. There was huge public outcry, but the city police department shut down their Facebook page. So we are here, one, to speak for the public, and two, we're here to ask for the take of the various different city council members. Let's get into it. Missing a councilman today, or is this all the...
This is it.
Okay, we got three. Okay, great. So first I want to start, I got a few notes here on
Let's start
my
with
phone.
your name.
I saw you guys got a sign-in sheet. I actually don't like to give my name. It's a Fourth Amendment right to not identify unless you've got reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. So I just choose not to do that in the interest of exercising my rights. So first I'd like to start off by saying the Facebook page for the PD was deleted. It's clear that you guys don't want to hear too many comments from the public. I mean, that seems to be one of the reasons why it was deleted. I'm here to remedy that. I'm here to give you guys the comments that the public isn't allowed to see because the PD deleted their Facebook page, which I'm pretty sure is...
It's not deleted, it's archived.
Okay, it's on, right, but the public can't see it. So anyways, I'm here to talk about what happened on, I believe it was January 15th, 2024, with a young girl named Vivian and a police officer named Brian Schimmel. I'm sure that everybody's heard of it. The council has actually released a statement on this incident. I want to kind of recap, go back over what happened, and then maybe ask a question about your statement that you made. So what happened was Vivian was accused of going 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. It's a speeding violation. It's not even a criminal infraction. It's a civil infraction is what it is. It's a driving infraction. So then she was pulled over, and the headlight, it's daytime. Headlights in Indiana, you don't need them during the daytime, right? So that was a non-issue. So ultimately, she's going 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. She was pulled over, and he asked for her ID. She wanted to know why she had to give it. Now, as an American, you just saw, you asked for my name. I said to you, I didn't want to give it. It's my right. You guys respected it. All right, but there's a reason why we would have to give our rights up and identify ourselves. The reason is that a police officer has reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. But why would we forfeit our Fourth Amendment right to privacy before we even know that a police officer has reasonable, articulable suspicion? And that makes no sense at all. Why would we voluntarily give up our rights when we don't even know that the police have a reason, a valid reason? We're just supposed to take these excellent individuals at their word that they have a good reason and then completely give up our rights? I mean, that may sit well with some Americans, but with me, it doesn't sit well. All right, so then back to the recap. He asks her, he says, by his own admission, 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle once she asks him why he's stopping her. After 4 or 5 times, he immediately resorts to physical violence. This would be unacceptable to anybody. It would be unacceptable behavior for anybody except for people that wear a badge. Now, that, in my opinion, is a clear double standard. Our Constitution even says that no privileges will be granted to any individual. Well, if one individual has a privilege to beat the hell out of an 18-year-old girl who couldn't have weighed any more than $110, right? And trust me, the guy's probably bigger than me. I'm over 200 pounds. And this guy's sitting here slamming a young girl to the ground. Now, why is it so hard? Why would it be so hard, Chief, for a police officer to just say why he pulled him over? I mean, I understand maybe the law says you don't have to, maybe the state says you don't have to, but when you're dealing with a young 18-year-old, doesn't know her way around the world, doesn't know what life is all about, doesn't know the laws, why not just tell the young girl, hey, you are in violation of the thing, you need to give me your ID now, all right? And he wouldn't do it, he just says, you need to give me your ID. So then he admits to the other officer, he pulls her out, slams her to the ground, and her ID falls right before her. So the ID was clearly prepared to be given. She just needed the reason. All right, but then after that, this is what happened. The police officer that responded to the scene, that heard by his own admission that he just assaulted a young girl because she wouldn't provide her identification to him within the time that he demanded it.
Pull over for headlight speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another ½ inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pulled her ass out, put her in an arm bar, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She said she's 18.
Provide her identification to him within the time that he demanded it. He just lets the guy walk away. He has since been let go from the police department, I understand. I don't know who gave that order. I don't know who put those steps into progress. But I will say, whoever did that, it actually deserves a little bit of some congratulations. But then I'll come back to, we even wonder why he was released. You all said that Brian Schimmel's behavior on January 15th, while it was wrong, you said, and everybody agreed to that statement, it maybe wasn't completely correct, it wasn't a fireable offense, or it wasn't something that he should be let go of. What is? I mean, what does it take? What line has to be crossed before you say, we're going to fire them? Because I'm telling you, if a private security officer did somebody in the private sector, they would be so scared of getting sued. They would be so scared that people wouldn't hire him anymore. They would fire him. They would fire the guy immediately. They would say that's an absolute fireable offense. So now I just want to ask you all, do you still stand by your statement that Brian Schimmel it wasn't a fireable offense what he did on January 15th?
By law. Doesn't mean that I agree with it. By law. You need to go to the legislator and get the law changed.
Do you have personal opinions on this?
Personal
There is a
opinion's
state law
completely
for
different.
public safety employees that gives them, they are not at-will employees, and there's a statute that says exactly what the process is and what the bases are under which they can be fired. These folks are not experts on that. You folks are welcome to answer if you'd like to, but as the Augustus family has initiated steps toward litigation, I'm going to advise you not to offer anything and let that process work out and not try this in this sort of a venue.
I understand that, and I appreciate that's your job to give good legal counsel to save the city money in civil litigation. And I guess what I will say is that basically you guys are the appropriators of funds, from what I understand, in this city. Right? You guys give you appropriate funds to the police department. If the police department was hiring or continuing employment for somebody who was clearly a bad actor, you do have the power to stop the funding. And so I understand that by state law, maybe there are laws that dictate certain things for state agents, but ultimately the power is in your hands. And ultimately the problem, it seems, was taken care of. I just worry about the statement that was made. But you all say you have personal opinions. I wouldn't mind getting them. You all were elected to speak on behalf of the public, not the attorney, as much as I do respect you. So if you would give me a comment after the meeting, I would be very appreciative of that. And I'll just return my time to the council.
I would like to know, what is it you want?
I'd just like to know how they justify their statement.
Why?
Saying, well, because they are elected to protect the people's interests. They're elected to protect the Constitution. They're elected to protect the people's rights. And if there are police officers that are out in this city violating the citizens who pay for them, it just seems as though these people, seems as though it's their responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen, or it doesn't continue to happen after it has happened one time. That's
Have you
what.
ever lived in a big city?
Yeah,
Have you ever
50,000.
traveled overseas?
Yes. Yeah.
So have you been in an airport where the security carries Uzis and machine guns?
Yeah, that's a government
Okay.
thing as well.
Just
Yeah.
because it's a small town, we've got canines, we've got cops in the schools. These guys don't leave the building without a vest, and they follow the law. He didn't do anything illegal.
But he did something morally incorrect. Slamming a young 18-year-old girl, no matter what a law. I mean, with all due respect, the law in Germany in the 1930s said that they could execute Jewish people, but I don't think anybody here is like, oh, that was the law, we better, But anyway, I digress. I'll let everybody get back to it.
Fort Wayne, see how they operate.
All righty.
Thank you. Any other public input?
Remember the Fourth Estate?
Hey, thanks a
I
lot, buddy.
appreciate, well,
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you as well, man. I know.
you guys have, everybody has their jobs to do.
Right,
and their
that's right.
roles.
That's right, absolutely. Hey, and if you're the one, I appreciate you. Was wondering if you would give me a comment.
No comments.
No comment. Okay. Mr. Watterson. Hey.
How you doing?
Good, I'm Craig. I was wondering if I could ask you for a comment on the previous comment. Do you still stand by it?
Well, first of all, the previous comment that I gave News Channel 21 didn't put my entire comment on the news. And I said that in the meeting, and they
Okay.
wanted a new interview. And what I said was that I sympathized with Brent, Macy, Vivian, and family, and that I also sympathized with the police department. That was the part that wasn't put on there. By law, the officer did not do anything wrong. And I furthermore said he could have had a better attitude. And that's it. He's not with us anymore.
Yes.
And so I'm moving forward, and it's unfortunate, and we expect our officers to follow the law, but I think you guys really need to focus on the legislator. You need to focus on the lawmakers, because what they're being taught in the police academy isn't being accepted by the public, and it's putting us in a very tough situation.
That's a very interesting take, and I tend to agree with you.
And so I think more like Chris Judy, or those guys at the State House that are making the laws. You know, the police academy teaches you don't discriminate by age, you don't discriminate by weight. My personal feelings, do I think he could have been more patient? Sure. And so there's a disconnect, and in fact, when we're talking about possible new officers, I'm bringing these points up.
Yeah.
That there is a gap with the way that officers are taught and the way that some of the public doesn't agree with. And so
Understood.
we're really in a difficult spot. And I'm not saying that it's fair what you're doing. I'm just simply saying, please understand, we're trying to do the right thing by law. And so, first interview, 21 could have done better. I could have done better. And that's really where I'm at with it.
All right.
And
Unlike the lame stream, your interview won't be cut up here.
I appreciate it. That's
All
all I
right.
have to say.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for your comment, brother. You all take care.
Thanks.
Appreciate
See
you.
ya.
Yep. All right, everybody. So we just got out of the South Whitley town hall meeting. We got a comment from one of the council members. We got declined from two other council members. I think ultimately what we saw inside of here was a group of people that knew something wrong had happened, but felt that their hands are tied by the powers of the state to do anything about it. This is extremely troubling, but one of the most troubling aspects, in my personal opinion, is that these people allow state powers to restrain them. If something is immoral and unjust, it shouldn't be done, period. Let me know what you think in the comments below.